Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good day. So today we're going to proceed with another sources of law under Malaysian legal system, that is Islamic law. So generally, Islamic law as a source of law in Malaysia meant any legal rules that are part of the Sharia and enacted as legislation in accordance with the federal and state constitution. Sharia here, by Sharia here, we mean the sacred law of Islam revealed through the Prophet Muhammad SAW, through in the Quran and Sunnah. So in Malaysia, the Islamic law applied is of the Shafi'i school of jurisprudence, or Mazhab Shafi'i, with some modification through the Malay Adat or customary law. Okay, sources of Islamic law generally can be categorized into two forms, that is primary sources and secondary sources, or better interpreted as means of discovering the law. So the primary sources of Islamic law are the Quran and the Sunnah or Hadith of the Prophet. A simpler or general definition of the Quran is basically the miraculous word of Allah revealed to the Prophet Muhammad SAW, and then it's later written down and transmitted to succeeding generations by many reliable channels, among others through recitation. As for the Sunnah, it is the utterance, action, or indirect approval of an act by the Prophet Muhammad. So the Hadith of the Prophet is the second fundamental source of Islamic law after the Holy Quran. It embodies the entire pattern of the life of the Prophet, includes every detail containing his action, his conduct, and his attitudes, whether explicit or implicit. As for the secondary sources of Islamic law, these are actually means or methods of discovering the law or extracting the law from the primary sources. So I've given some examples there. You can read through by yourself. So what is the role of Islam and Islamic law in the Federal Constitution of Malaysia? So basically, Article 3 states that Islam is the religion of the Federation, but other religions may be practiced in peace and harmony in any part of the Federation. Article 11 further guarantees the right of every person to profess and practice his or her religion, with an exception to Clause 4, meaning here other religion, other beliefs, people of other beliefs are not free to propagate it to Muslims. So Clause 4 of the article authorizes state law in the federal territories to control or restrict the propagation of any religious doctrine or belief among Muslims. However, under Article 160, Islamic law is not included in the definition of law. We also have the ninth schedule of List 2, that is a state list of the Federal Constitution, which sets out the following matters. So these are some of the things that is included in the state list, among others, issues of personal and family law, succession, maintenance, adoption, customs, zakat, fitrah, baitul mal dan sebagainya. So ni dalam erti kata lainnya, we are saying that the Islamic law is actually a concern under state matters. It's not under federal. So we have a couple of things that is raised from time to time. For instance, is Malaysia an Islamic state? So there are a couple of arguments arguing that most probably it is not. So we have a statement of the white people on the constitutional proposal, which states that the Federation of Malaya is a secular state. And then we have a statement by the late PM, Tunku Abdul Rahman, which states that actually Islamic law is just, Islam is just mentioned as the official religion of the state, not really an Islamic state. And then we have case law decision, for instance, case Cik Omar Cik So. In this case, the accused was sentenced to death, and then he brought an appeal and questioned the constitutionality of a mandatory death sentence because he argued that it is against Islamic law to have a mandatory death sentence. So the court decided that the Islamic law was only confined to personal law concerning marriage, divorce, inheritance only. And the basis of the country was that what it is today as secular law. So apart from that, we also have the case of Teo Eng Huat against Kadi of Pasir Mas Kelantan. So this is a very interesting case. Please read through it. In this case, the issue of changing of religion. Please take the time to read the case of Susie. Susie Teo, and also another case, Indra Gandhi. We will discuss about this case in class. Okay. Other than that, issues in regards to administration of Islamic law, it is covered. It is managed or through three bodies. Yeah, we have the Majlis Agama Islam, the Mufti, and the Sharia Court. So the Majlis Agama Islam, I think a lot of people are aware of. So the powers of Majlis Agama Islam basically generally to collect zakat, fitrah, manage the almos and wakaf and all trusts in Malaysia in regards to Muslim properties. And then Mufti, also, the bodies for each state. So they are appointed by the Sultan, responsible for determination of Islamic law and any issues unsettled or controversial. And the other one is the Sharia Court. Okay, the Sharia Court falls within the state list jurisdiction. So they administer matters in regards to personal matters only, personal law matters of the Muslim. So we look at the administration of the Sharia Court. It is managed by the Department of Sharia Judiciary in Malaysia. And the jurisdiction, if you can see, composition jurisdiction here. So there are three tiers. Yeah. So we have the Sharia Subordinate Court, Sharia High Court, and Sharia Appeal Court. Okay. So generally, Sharia Court do not have exclusive jurisdiction on all matters related to Islamic law. It has no power apart from the one given under the Constitution. In the absence of jurisdiction being conferred of the Sharia Court or any other not listed in the state list, such matter would fall within the jurisdiction of the High Court. Okay, in summary, Islamic law, although it is one of the sources of law in Malaysia, it is only confined to personal law for Muslims, and the Sharia Court is subordinate to courts established by the Federal Constitution and under federal law. Okay, so any other discussion in regards to Islamic law, we will discuss in class. Thank you.